Okay. Hi, everyone. We have Neka Williams here today. She's going to discuss what a VA could do for your business. Thank you, Neka, for joining me.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. So Neka today is going to discuss what a VA could do for your business, how a VA can help your business, how a VA can help you grow in your business. So if you're still on the fence, haven't decided to jump on yet to grab that VA that you really need for your business, here's that other push you're going to need, and Neka's going to help you explain and break it down for you with everything you need. So Neka, can you tell everybody about yourself and your business?
Yeah, so my name is Neka Williams. I am 28 years old. I started my virtual assistant business over 2 years ago. I was in the corporate field. I have a special needs kid, so I need a lot of flexibility in my schedule. And so I was actually let go from my job a couple of days before Christmas. And that was the push. Like, you need to do something that's actually for you and that can, that's super flexible for yourself and for your family too. And so after that happened, I knew Christmas was rolling around and I had a 6-year-old at the time. I was like, okay, I need to make this thing happen. And then the first was rolling around too, so bills were coming. So I was like, okay, how am I going to make some money? And I had always heard about being a virtual assistant, so I just hit the ground running. I started to use social media, Facebook, mostly, and I signed 2 clients within 10 days, and the thing just took off. It just snowballed after that. And like I said, that was like over 2 years ago, and I've just been doing that and coaching on the side as well.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it just kind of snowballed, and I think that speaks to the fact of how many people actually need virtual assistants in their business for me to quickly sign those clients, because it's such a need. Like, when you are overwhelming your business, you need someone to kind of like help you with the tasks that are like always adding to your to-do list. Like, you never can get to the end of that to-do list. And so I think that speaks to the fact of how I was able to sign those clients so quickly.
Wow, that is great. What did you start off doing as your business?
Yeah. So in the beginning, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were the two tasks that you did when you started off?
Yeah. So in the beginning, I started to offer a lot of general admin tasks and a lot of like calendar management and email management. So basic VA tasks. And then I signed my 3rd client, and she was a website developer, and I offered project management for her. And that was the point when I knew that's what I wanted to offer. So I started to just specialize only in project management. And my services has grown since then. Now I offer like funnel creation, setup, launch management, social media management. So the more I learn, the more clients I work with, the more that I do in their business and in my business, then my services kind of evolve, and I become more specialized in other different services that I offer.
That's great. Yeah. That is really good. So then let's discuss what do you think a VA can really do for a business? A business who is like, they're in the middle, they kind of grown a little, and then now they're like, okay, I got clients here, I got all this here, but then I got to do this.
Right. No, I really think a VA can actually grow your business. And it's kind of like how you're explaining, you're so spread out because you need to focus on revenue generating tasks, but you also need to focus on the back end stuff to keep those clients that you do have or the business that you do have running. So if you're so spread out, you can't really hit on a lot of different things like you want to. You can't really invest your time in like marketing your business or being visible because you're so wrapped up into the tasks that keep the business running on the back end. So the thing that a VA does is it opens up your time. If you want to spend more time on a different thing that you like, your zone of genius, really, what you really like doing, then a VA can kind of handle all of the tasks that are like, redundant, repetitive tasks, things that you have to do in the business. But also it can free up your time to do other things besides your business. So if you want to spend more time with your family, or you want to travel more, or you want to disconnect, maybe you want to like do certain things on Wednesdays, like take off of completely your business, then your VA can still have it running and you won't have the pressure of like, I need to do something. So it kind of depends. Like, it can definitely grow your business, but it also gives you a time to like disconnect if you need that.
Yeah, that's true. Because sometimes you need that break to just clear your mind. You really do.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
So then some business owners think, well, okay, that's a lot of money I need to shell out. But then do you think a VA can help a business grow, help you bring in that extra revenue?
Right, yeah, for sure. And I know a lot of people have this kind of like thought of, I have to invest so much money into a VA, but you can find a VA that can fit your budget. VAs normally charge between $25 and $50 an hour, depending on the task that they're helping you with. But you can find a lot of beginner VAs that will, maybe trade off, barter, or give you low cost services for testimonials, or even that's just starting off and they have a lower rate, maybe $20 an hour or $25 an hour. And then you can also start with small packages. So you don't have to go in with 20 hours. You can go in with 5 hours a week or 5 hours a month. Even. So you can start small and grow with your VA as your business grow. And then also about making more money in your business, definitely. I am a virtual assistant and I have a virtual assistant and I travel a lot. And so quite recently, my family took a vacation to Jamaica and I was in mid-launch. So we were promoting a course that I had and she did everything. I created the content before we were left on a vacation. She scheduled it up. She scheduled the emails, the social media posts. She handled a lot of the back end for the customer support if they had any issues with the course or downloading it. And I just woke up and on the beach, hanging out, sipping cocktails with my family while I'm getting PayPal notifications of sales coming in, and I haven't done anything for 5 days. So it definitely can bring money into your business. So those are, all the ways. I love my VA. like you told me before, it's like, I make sure my VA is paid because she brings money into my business. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so you're just explaining it all right there.
Yeah.
You could be on the beach and money's still coming in.
Yes. I don't have to, take time away from my family or my vacation to kind of like answer emails or answer messages in Facebook if somebody's sending me different things. I can enjoy my family and she can handle all the tech stuff or, the issues. And I just, have the money coming in. So I'm super cool with that. And everybody needs a VA.
So what should some of business owners consider before they even hire a VA? Because, they're on the fence. So what are some of the, before they even just start that process of searching, what's some of the things they should think about?
Yeah. So number one for me, before I hired my VA, I thought about all of the tasks that were on my to-do list every day. And most of the tasks were just back end stuff. I didn't even have much time to do marketing or things that I actually enjoyed, like creating content, because I was so overwhelmed with like making sure my clients had the schedule and the links and answering emails. So if you are focusing more so on the back end and it's taking away a lot of time for what you really want to do, or even marketing or making money in your business, then it's definitely time to hire a VA. And then also just think about your needs. Are you, when you first started your business, was it like a passion and you were happy about it? And you were doing a lot of stuff that really fired you up. And now it's like, that's the last thing on your list, then you definitely need to hire a VA too. So just think about your needs. What is your time going to? And is it something that you enjoy, or is it just keeping the business running? So definitely need a VA. And also, if there's a lot of clients coming in and you're not able to really touch on leads and follow-ups and doing different things like that as far as the money that's coming in, because you're just so overwhelmed with everything, then it's time to hire a VA, of course.
It is.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to lose those leads.
Exactly.
You work too hard to get those leads coming in, and then because you didn't handle simple questions, answer simple questions, they're going to go. You work too hard for that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of clients, leads will come into their inbox and they won't get touched on for 3 to 5 days. And they're like, that person may have found somebody else by now. So if something like that is like taking up a lot of your time where you're missing out on some, money coming in, then it's time to hire a VA.
And like you said, the word is passion. You started off this as a passion. You don't want it to go back to, you got to do this. You want to keep that passion going.
I definitely, before I hired my VA, went through a period of like burnout. Like I did not like my business anymore. I was super overwhelmed. Of course, clients were coming in. I was having so many leads coming in. I had to follow up. It was client work and it was coaching clients. And I just felt like burned out. Like I was like, I can't do it all. Like I can't. And so that was the point where I was like, okay, I need help. Like I really need somebody to help me with this or I'm going to go crazy. So yeah, if you're feeling like burnout, then you definitely need to hire a VA.
Yeah, because we don't need you burnt out.
Yes, at all. No.
You did this for freedom, not to be burnt out.
Exactly.
So for those who are out there, like this is their first time going out to hire a VA, where do they go? What's the good places for them to go? Because, some people have been burnt before, they've been ghosted before, or they've heard those stories, being ghosted. I went on Craigslist and paid them and they ghosted me. What are some ideas for them?
For sure. My number one way is Facebook groups. I go there to find and sign clients as a virtual assistant. It's just a good way to build a connection with that person and build a relationship with that person. I know a lot of people say Upwork and freelancer.com and Guru and all those sites like that. But for me, I've seen a lot of lowball and scams. And I think that is maybe ways that people can get burnt in the beginning. But if you're in Facebook and Facebook groups or on social media, then you can build up connection and you can build up a rapport with that person before you just hire them. And you can kind of see how they interact and engage in Facebook groups to make sure they will probably be a good fit with your business. So I like social media. That's the best way to get a raw, authentic, vision of that person. So yeah, I always recommend Facebook groups.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Because you're in them so much.
Yes. Yes, for sure. And then another thing is reach out to people who are in your network. So anybody that is like a business friend, a coach, a mentor, anybody that you did a group program with, anybody that you just talk to on a regular basis that's in business, ask them if they have a VA or they know someone who hired a VA, gets referrals, recommendations. Those are a good way to not get burnt too.
Yeah, it really is.
For sure.
And if you could look in some of the groups that you're in, just look up job op.
Yes.
And you'll see people who post it. So then that could give you also an idea of what people posted in the past.
For
and
sure.
It'll help you out a lot. That's what I think that happens.
For sure.
So what are good ways for that a business owner know they found that right VA?
Yeah. So for me, it was all about the vibe. It was all about the connection because this is someone that I wanted to have a long-term relationship with. And I knew that I could probably teach her anything she needed to know about the back end of my business. So it wasn't really as far as like the skills and the experience. That was a plus for me, but it was like someone I can really get along with, someone that the conversation was just natural. We had kind of like the same, values and morals, different things like that.
Yeah.
So that's for me is like the number one is if you can have a very good conversation and connection with that VA, because you want to be able to trust them too, because they are in the back end of your business. So if it's like just a good conversation, then I think you can kind of you'll be able to fill out the person when you're on a call with them to know if that's a good fit or not.
How did you find your VA?
Oh, this is a really good question. So my VA actually was my business bestie for months and months. So we would just have accountability calls. And I met her in a Facebook group. Somebody asked, this is a thread for business besties. We hooked up and we kind of had calls weekly. And she seen that I was getting burnt out in my business. And she seen that it was a lot of different stuff that was coming on, like leads and, all of the things. And I was like, can you please help me? Like, I know you know my business. You know my business. You know me. We are a good fit. We talk weekly. It was nothing to like incorporate her into my business. So yeah, just think about people who you have a connection with. Do they have the skills or the experience? If not, you can teach them. But yeah, that's how I found my business bestie, my VA. She's turned from my business bestie over to my VA now.
And like you said, we found her in a Facebook group.
Yep. Facebook group for sure. There's so many people there. You can definitely find somebody.
Yeah. And sometimes I think you're in too many groups, and that's what I had to. I had to scale out of some groups
Yes.
because you have to be in those groups that tailor towards you, that fits what you're
Yeah.
looking for, fits your needs. So actually I had to get out of some of them because I figured I was like, I think I'm missing great opportunity in some groups.
For sure. Like I have different groups for different reasons. So I have groups that support me in my journey where I go and ask questions and I find out information. And then there's also groups where I am like the authority in that group and I help others. So you, like you said, you have to have it tailored to your needs and wants at that time. But there are Facebook groups for everything.
It is. It really is. So for a business owner, what is a good onboarding process for them to get started?
Yeah, so normally the VA will come to you with the onboarding process. And how mine is after we have like a discovery call, I send my potential clients a plan of action. And that kind of like maps out what I have envisioned for us over the next month or for that first package of hours that we're thinking about, using. And then after that, we will send over, the invoice and then a contract to electronically sign. So whatever kind of system they use for that. And then I'd like to send over a questionnaire form to get to know you a little bit more about your business. So your goals, so different ways that I can help you, and just like back in, contact information and different things like that. But normally the VA will have an onboarding process. They'll come to the table with that and then they just kind of like sink you in. But of course they're open to any kind of systems or processes that you have. And they'll kind of like incorporate that into their onboarding process too. So yeah.
That's really good. Yeah. So for business owners who think, okay, how do I teach them how to do my job? Yeah. What would you say to that? Like, what can they use? Because they're like, they don't know what I do. How do I show them what I should do?
Yeah, so normally I have like an onboarding call and it's kind of like a training and we'll normally just use Zoom where we can share screens, we can see each other, we can talk, and then we just go into the back end of their business on the parts where I'll be helping them out at. And then it doesn't normally take too long because your VA is normally a quick learner on their feet. They kind of already know the gist of things, especially if they're working in the industry, in the same industry with the same types of business. They'll probably already kind of know a couple of things that's going on the back end of your business. But yeah, Zoom is definitely a good way for you to kind of like share your screen and see and kind of teach them how you do things.
Yeah, and I think it's helpful because I'm doing work for somebody right now. She sent me a video. I was like, oh, perfect.
Yes, definitely perfect. Video. Definitely a walkthrough little video. It's so beneficial.
Mm-hmm. It really is. So what do you think for business owners, like it's a successful like relationship between themselves and a VA? What is like the main key?
Clear communication. Whatever way that you guys set up for how you will stay in contact with each other, use one way. One major way that you always mainly use. But always just have clear communication. If something isn't going right, then be okay with, voicing that to your VA, and your VA should be okay with saying the same thing to you, giving suggestions, recommendations, whatever it is. It's always clear communication. That's just any relationship. But yeah, I think that's the number one way. Just making sure you know how you guys will connect, and just stay on top of things with clear communication.
It's true. And then like that first month is very, you need to communicate. Because the VA is trying to learn about your business, trying to help you, and then you're trying to understand your VA.
Yeah, and understand and be okay with that you may go slower before you go faster. In the beginning, I did go slower because I did have to kind of show her things, and she had questions for me for the back end of my business. But after that, after you train them a little while, you'll go so much faster. So it's okay if it goes slower. Don't be scared, but it will pick up.
Mm-hmm. Like one lady I spoke to said her VA is her right-hand person.
Yes. Oh my God. That is so true. I talk to my VA so much, like daily, but she's my best friend and she's my best business friend that I can talk to about anything business related. So we talk a lot, and that's the kind of like relationship I wanted in a VA. It's not just someone I work with. It's like, I don't really want to talk to that person. It's like somebody that I really enjoy talking to about her business, helping her meet her goals too. So yeah, it's definitely a good relationship.
And it makes it so much better.
Yes. Yeah. If you can talk to a person. Yeah, for sure.
I think so. I think that's important I think like you said, communication with anything is just important in general. It really
For sure.
is.
For
It
sure.
really is. So for business owners that feel that they're having issues with their VA or that it's not a good fit, how should they handle it?
Yeah. Um, Honestly, be okay with letting them go. If it's because you don't want to force something that's not gonna work. So if it's something technical like skills and you're trying to teach them, like give them an opportunity to learn. But if it's just not working, then I think you have to be okay with letting them go. Just give them a little time to know that at the end of this contract, you want to part ways. Be okay with just giving them kind of feedback as far as what was going wrong, because the thing in business is we need to know what was wrong, what we didn't do right, so we can grow from that. So give them whatever is in their contract, maybe 15, 30 days, 10 days before you cancel it out. But be okay with going on getting on that horse again to find another one. There is a VA that will be a good fit for your business. And I am all about, I hire quick and I fire quick. So, you just need to find a good fit for your business.
Yeah, don't feel guilty that you need a fire because you
No,
need to move on.
you have to move on. Yeah, you have to find the
Yeah,
right one.
because in a corporate role, they'll fire you quick.
Yes,
So don't be ashamed.
yes. But the thing is like I relate my business to a lot of like dating. And so this is the same thing. When you're getting to know a person in the beginning, it may be pictures and cream until you kind of like get into the work of things and you're like, not so much, and be okay with letting go. And you can find somebody else. You can definitely find somebody else.
Exactly, exactly. So what was your interviewing process like when you hired on your VA? Well, it was your business bestie. So did you have any, have you hired any other VAs before?
I have not. So she's the only one that I've worked with. But in that freebie that we'll kind of like reference at the end of this, there is a lot of different things that I touch on as far as like what you should ask on an interview call. But the thing is you just want to get to know about them. So my if I had an interview process, it will, number one is connection. Like if we can vibe, I can teach you anything. I can teach you. You can YouTube, you can Google. I can give you the resources regarding like skills and tactics and all that as far as what I do. But I need that connection. I need, like you said, I want to have somebody I can talk to about business, that I can talk to about my business. Do you think this is work? I can trust you with your suggestions, your recommendations. And so that's the number one thing is for me is the vibe. Number two would definitely be the skills. What have you done? What kind of results have you been able to achieve in your business, clients' businesses? And then the last thing is definitely budget, because a lot of us are small business owners. And so we're working on like, expenses, keeping those
Right.
as low as possible. But the third thing would definitely be budget, making sure that it fits in. It's a good budget, because you don't want to hire someone for 1 month and you're like, I can't really afford it, because you need to get them,
You wasted time.
yeah. You have to get
Wasted
them
time.
into your business, give them time to, get on there and actually do something so you can benefit from the having them. So make sure it fits in your budget too.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
So in conclusion to everybody who are still, we're almost getting them over that fence.
Yes, we are. I feel like we are.
Yeah, who's getting them over that fence? So for in conclusion, what would you tell a business owner that's out there to push them over the fence and say, hey, hire your VA already? What would you tell them? What would you tell somebody who's listening?
I have made so much money in my business why I have not been working on my business due to my VA. So if you want to make more money in your business and not be tied to your computer all day, every day, then definitely hire a VA. You get to focus on only the stuff you love. I don't focus on anything that I do not like doing. So all of the follow-ups and sending emails and making sure my clients have all of the necessary things they need. I don't like doing that. I like creating content. I like going live. I like, connecting with my coaching clients and talking to my services clients and making sure their business is up and running. So if you want to make more money and you want to make more money only by focusing on things that you're passionate about in your business, then you need a VA. Go ahead and hire that VA so you can do what you actually started your business to do.
Yeah, it's so true. And like you said earlier, burnt out. You don't want to be burnt out. You did not get this to be burnt out.
I think a lot of people hold on so tight because it is their baby, especially if you're hiring your first VA. It's definitely scary because even I've known my VA for so long, was still scary letting a piece of my business go to somebody else. But the thing is, if you try to do it all, then you end up doing nothing. So just give them a little bit, and kind of like test the waters with it. And before you know it, it was like, can I send you something else? Like, let's up it. Can you do more for me? Because you get in that freedom in that flexibility, and then in that, like, I'm only focusing on things I love. I don't want to do that anymore. Can you do some more of the stuff that I hate doing? So yeah.
It's true. And then, like you said, you can start off a little bit. Some VAs offer services like 4 hours, 8 hours, like little packages. Start off with that a month, and then you just, put your toes in the water.
Yeah, that's how a lot of my clients start. We start with small packages, and then they start loving that freedom that it has. And it's like, I don't want to do this either. Can we up your package? And that's how most of my packages grow. And that's how most of my clients become long-term clients. Because once you start getting into it and you have that VA that's handling a lot of stuff that you always push down at the bottom of your list, it gets fun for you. It's like, I don't have to do that anymore. So yeah, start small and grow.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I learn more. I'm learning more and more everybody I talk to. So thank you so much for this. I want to thank Neka so much for even just talking to me, being part of my summit, because it's helpful information for myself, and I know it's helpful information for everyone who's listening. So thank you, Neka, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. This has been so fun. It's been my pleasure.
All right. Thank